Hey, I'm Bill Rice, and I help mortgage brokers and lenders generate endless direct-to-consumer mortgage leads. And today, I want to go behind the scenes and give you a little bit about the truth about mortgage leads. Let's talk about 4 different areas of mortgage leads that you might not really think about, whether you're generating them yourself or you're buying them. These are 4 contextual truths that will probably help you in understanding where these mortgage leads came from and ultimately how to convert them in a better way. Number 1, marketing can only capture consumer intent. It can't capture propensity to close. So what do those big words mean? It just means simply, hey, if somebody fills out that web form, they probably want information about mortgage, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're qualified or that they truly are going to do that in the next couple of months when you'd like them to do. There's a whole variety of things that could impact their actual probability of closing or how much intent they have to actually get a mortgage, right? So I often say, I can't pre-qualify the click, right? I can't tell you whether or not they have poor credit or good credit. I can't discern low loan amounts before they actually click. So we do our best to target around things that would tend to give us better credit or tend to give us higher loan amounts. And we even do some things where we feed information back to Google to give them a sense of what that profile looks like. If we're doing something like Google ads or Facebook ads, we can feed some of that out and try to get sort of lookalike audiences. But also you have to keep in mind in this category of finance, there's also a lot of rules around how much we can target, particularly around these types of things. So instead, it's really important for you to understand how to segment and handle in a good way these different categories that you just simply can't help or not in a position to actually become a mortgage borrower or refinance at this time. This is where nurturing becomes really important because it doesn't mean just because they're not qualified now or they're not ready to do something now that they will ultimately get a mortgage. So again, keep that in mind. Every single lead is not going to be perfect. It's really helpful in your sales process if you have a way to segment and account for that and still give that consumer a really good experience, because keep in mind, they did want information from you about mortgages. So that means if you give them a good experience, they could become a customer in the future. Number 2, why do mortgage leads not take your calls or ghost you? Well, there's a couple of different reasons that often account for this, right? You didn't stop the shop, right? You let that lead come in. You didn't give it an instant reply that lets them know that you got the information and that it's important and urgent to you. So you didn't do that instant text message. You didn't do that instant email. You didn't reach out in a timely fashion. You just kind of let it sit in your CRM for 20 or 30 minutes, and then you picked up your phone and decided to give them a call, right? That ultimately will get you ghosted more often than not. So again, you want to respond with an immediacy and an urgency. That's probably the number 1 reason that you will not get a good response. And it's amazing when we kind of do some analysis and auditing of this process, we invariably find, even though everyone in your organization will tell you that they call instantly, you will find that there is a large gap in time between when that lead comes in and when you actually reach out to it in whatever way that is. It doesn't have to be a phone call, but even that text and email message are often delayed. So use automation and hey, use this little trick. If you have consent, I encourage you to send a text message and an email immediately. And then when you call, because of that text message and email and all the whiz bang stuff inside of these little mobile phones, it will, if you've done those things and they've opened them and they've taken a look at it, that phone call will be introduced as likely Bill Rice or whoever you are. So use that little trick to get your phone calls connected in a better way instead of showing up as, spam likely or other things that get labeled on high volume callers, which is probably you. The only caveat out here, if you are doing something like age leads or you're digging in your CRM and working some old data, make sure that you use what I call the just checking in email, and instead just send out a manual email that says, hey, it looks like you inquired about a mortgage a few months back. I'm just wondering, did you get that taken care of? If not, I would love to help you out. You can also call them manually. Just don't use all that whiz bang automation stuff. Number 3, why mortgage leads don't close or turn into funded loans? Well, again, another thing that often happens here is there's these outside factors that you can't really control, right? There's timing, there's market conditions, credit. Even over time, as interest rates stay higher for longer, you're going to see just generally borrowers' credits start to descend a little bit. People get cold feet. And then, of course, there's always crazy Uncle Larry that's chirping in their ear and telling them different things and making them fearful or making them go somewhere else or not pick up your phone call. So again, a lot of times you get this sort of weird advice that comes in and just doesn't show up. Qualifications process, right? So often things just fall down as you get into processing. Our operations people try to do their best, but there's all kinds of messiness. Documents don't come in, things get lost. There's a lot of loans that just simply fall out in the back end. But don't worry, right? Because ultimately you're trying to build a massive database. So just go ahead and continue to nurture those leads. Because again, I've said this before in some of my other videos, even if 10% of those convert, 90% are going to still just be there in the database waiting for that perfect offer or marketing, nurturing email, or reach out on a phone call. So again, build that massive database and nurture it, and you will pull out more and more leads, and more of those leads will convert. Number 4, how to increase your funded loan rate. Here is my top 4. Be nice, right? With your emails, with your text messages, with your phone calls, be polite, act like you're Southern, be nice to everybody, whether you like them or not, right? So there's so much to just that tone, that voice, that intonation. So no matter how your day is going, put that nice, polite face on and put that at the front of all of your sales and marketing. Follow up forever, right? There's no reason. I mean, there should be mechanisms to let people unsubscribe and those sorts of things, but don't count any of those leads dead. Have a good age lead program that's constantly nurturing and reaching out and offering new loan programs into that database, because potentially that new loan program or that right timing will turn that age lead into a fresh new lead. Be a content creator. Frequency builds trust. The more that they see you in social media, on YouTube, in their email inbox, then it's simply going to build trust over time, assuming that, again, you're being nice and polite. Go ahead, create some frequency, create some content, get out there on YouTube, show yourself, humanize your marketing. And then this fourth one is kind of an interesting one. It's a little bit of just kind of a personal bugaboo of mine. I hear it all the time. Oftentimes when I get on a call with a mortgage broker or a lender that's talking to Kaleido about our services, one of the first questions they always seem to ask is, what CRM should I be using? I would encourage you to get a CRM, figure out all the wonderful ways that you can use that CRM. Most of them are pretty good, right? There's a few that are maybe you do need to switch off of, but stop switching CRMs like they're, a dirty old t-shirt. I don't know what the analogy is, but I see so many mortgage brokers and lenders just constantly switching CRMs for some little feature that they're probably not going to use. And what happens is you're trashing your database every single time. That migration is never perfect. The segmentation is never perfect. So you end up just thrashing your database. You're giving horrible customer experiences. So I really encourage you, if you're working large volumes of mortgage leads, get comfortable with the CRM. Most of them do about the same thing, and just let that database grow and grow and grow, and double down on that CRM. Learn how to segment, learn how to build your automation, learn how to send out those sequence, and just let that automation and that system just work year over year over year over year, and stop switching and trashing your database. Hey, if you want to focus on building your mortgage business and leave the mortgage lead generation to us, I would love for you to come visit me at kaleido.com. And if you enjoyed all of this content up until this point, you watched the video up until now, and you want more lead generation tactics and strategies from me, I would love for you to like and subscribe to our Kaleido channel, and we'll push out more lead generation and mortgage lead content like this every single week.